Yeah, so it'll be cool. But let's get into it. So it's Friday. It's NFP, so it's a good day for us to be having this conversation. Linzi, I appreciate you being here. Mateo,
No props.
It's good for you to be here too, bro. I'm glad that we get to introduce you to the YouTube channel today.
Mm-hmm.
So before I pass the microphone over, just to let everybody know, basically what we're trying to do here with all these conversations is just highlight new traders that are finding success. Like I said to you guys, Linzi and Mateo, before we got on the call, we never want to claim to be the gurus or the only way to make money trading Forex, but we've now had hundreds of traders all over the world finding success with what we're doing. So I want to highlight that in its different ways, because I think that actually will help, and I've seen it now, helping other traders find their unique edge, even within our program. Like we have guys that are maybe a month in, they watch my video with Jerome. Jerome's been here for 6 months. And then they say, oh, okay, now let me go back and see what I can really look at that Jerome was doing to make his way unique so I can apply that to my own. So there's just a lot of value to be had in these conversations. So Mateo, I appreciate you again being here, bro. Tell everybody.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Absolutely, bro. Where you're trading from, how long you've been trading Forex, like when did you get in with ASFX, remind me, and kind of catch everybody up.
Yeah, so from the Forex world perspective, I mean, I'm basically a fetus, a newborn. Like I've been here, basically found out about Forex back in February, and obviously I got drawn in from the whole, obviously the Lambo lifestyle. I feel like it's what initially draws in a lot of people, but I wasn't introduced to that because for me, what I got introduced to was the IML kind of thing, because I saw people posting it on like on Instagram, on Snapchat, and people from my college. I just recently graduated this May, and I saw just people posting it, and I was in the dropshipping space. I'm sure
I do
don't
remember
know
that you were telling me that.
Yep. So dropshipping is kind of like a business model, and so my friend that used to post that all the time, I hit him up and I was like, hey, like, I would love it if we could exchange some knowledge. I mean, I know drop shipping, you could teach me some Forex. And he was like, yeah,
you said
definitely.
Like, I already have the digital mindset. Let me see if I can make another income happen here. Okay.
100%. And so I was like, well, I mean, and back then was the Chinese New Year's, and so supplies were completely shut down. And so I was like, well, I want to get my hands on something, you know, I don't want to just stand by.
Sit here and not make any money, right?
Pretty interesting. Yeah, exactly. And all I saw was a bunch of numbers and blue screens. I was like, I had no idea what that meant. Like you showed me a chart, it was just a bunch of lines with random bars, and I was like, and I need to learn this. Like that's what you're telling me. And so he was, well, you know, the whole IML thing and all that stuff, and I just discovered a whole new world of Forex outside of IML, because all I knew was kind of like what they introduced me to. And so
how long were you with them?
A week. Yeah, no, it didn't take much long.
What was the reason you moved on quickly? Because you found the other stuff that you were like, I actually want some real education.
Yeah, that and also the whole morale and the idea, because for me it was more, I want to have the knowledge to be able to log into my laptop from the beach in Cabo at 3 a.m. in the morning while I'm, you know, sipping some coffee and be able to make money. You know, I don't want to rely on someone sending me signals that more times than not, I don't know if they'll work. I don't know what the analysis was. I don't know. You know, I want to be able to do it myself.
Yeah. No, and I think that's why you and I have always gotten along since you and I met, just because you were looking for that like self-sufficiency is what I like to call it. And that's what I've always pushed towards everybody. I think that was something that Linzi also was attracted to with what I was talking about, what I've been talking about. I think that's, you have to like go back to, I think we talked about this yesterday in one of our calls, Linzi, go back to just like why people get into trading. Think about it. Like how could anyone in our position now that's able to educate people, how could we even try to charge a monthly membership? I'm still mind blown at that idea. Like you want to help people make money, but yet you're charging them a fee every month to stay attached to you. If you actually wanted to help people make money, wouldn't you just charge them like we do, one-time fee, pay for the service, and then help them actually make money, not kind of set them back month on month? You know what I'm saying? So I just think that it does show through. And then like people, like I said, like you and me and Linzi, we all seem to find our way home, find our way together. So it's cool.
100%.
But with where you're at now, and your understanding of the way that we trade, are you still following any of that stuff on social media, like the IML guys or anything like that? Because I know a lot of the guys in our group have actually like unfollowed everything that they used to do. And now they say they just follow me and like ESPN and that's it.
Yeah, no, I think that's amazing to just completely tune out the noise. Because I do like to be involved in the Forex space, but that's just because it's like my marketing background. I like to see how other people are like promoting their stuff and all that stuff is what they're doing. But I know psychologically in me, I'm not gonna see someone, you know, whoever it is, super big, pulling a 6-figure trade or something like that. I'm gonna be like, that's the strategy I want. That's what I want, because you don't see the 6-figure losses.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's a reality in Forex that now I realize is like mastering the psychology of it. And I really do believe that the whole psychology of it is 80% of it. And I think that that holds true for business, and mainly Forex. I do believe that Forex is one of the hardest yet most rewarding things that someone can learn and successfully do.
What do you think about the psychology is difficult for people to master? Like, what are you working on the most to try to still improve upon? I know that face you just made, you were like, God, how many of the things do I need to list right now?
Yeah, like, do you have enough time? Does this candidate roll for 5
No.
hours?
But especially because you've seen, like, I've seen you engage with me and some of the guys in the chat. So you've seen a lot of the other opinions, I think, that people are throwing around. So of the psychological aspects of learning and like trying to become a trader, what do you think is most difficult and what have you had to work through that's been a challenge?
So a big thing, and this is where my great admiration came to you and Linzi. You know, I 100% admire you guys, not only because you're great traders, but because of the mindset that you bring to trading and the understanding that you guys have. And the thing is that people, when they, you know, of course, bro, people make it seem too easy. Almost of like a plug and play kind of video game kind of thing. And people don't understand that only 8% of traders actually become successful. So 92% of the people that actually try to do Forex will never be successful in their life. And, you know, I could ask you, how long does it take for the average person to be a successful trader? And the answer is they never will, because the average person will never become a successful trader. And that is something that I deeply needed to understand of. What do I need to do in order to completely separate myself from the 92%? So if everyone was doing one thing, I knew that that is exactly what I needed to not do. And so I wanted to fail. I wanted to fail fast, and I wanted to learn. And so I, you know, booked a call with the coaches, booked a call with Linzi, because if I saw that I was falling off somewhere, I knew that I needed some refining. And this actually brings out to a story that I want to share with you guys. Because, well, I'm personally, I don't know if you're familiar with Stoicism, like being a Stoic.
Yeah, I am. Remind me, what does it exactly mean?
I was just going to ask.
Yeah, so Stoicism is basically a Greek philosophy made by Marcus Aurelius, Zeno. And what I believe is that that philosophy is the root of happiness. And there's like certain steps to take into that philosophy, which is basically taking in everything as it is and looking at everything as objective as possible without putting your emotions into it. If you put your emotions into it, you lose. Right? 100%. And everything is basically focus on what you can control. Don't focus on what you can't. Meaning focus what you can. And if we bring that into trading, is you can control your analysis. You can't control when you pull the trigger. But after that, after you're in, you're in. So all sweat and all anxiety, you're in. So, you know, then it comes to management. But it's only what you can control and if you can objectively see things. And the story that I wanted to bring was, I'm doing a new FTMO challenge because the last one I didn't meet the profit target. So as I said before, I believe I told that I was doing the FTMO. And you get a free redo on FTMO if you don't fail, but you just don't pass the profit target, if you're like profitable or break even. And so in the new challenge, I was down in the challenge before the one I'm doing this one. I was down 5%. I was down 5%. And so one part of Stoicism is journaling, morning journaling. And since I live here in the city, the Hudson River is actually like right over there from me. And so what I do is every single morning right after trading, I'll go with my journal, which is this little book right here. And then I'll just write down my thoughts, write down everything, and then look at things objectively. And the thing about this story and why I bring it up is because I was extremely happy being down 5%. After I was down 5%, I was extremely happy with myself because I knew what went wrong. I knew exactly what went wrong because after I lost the trade, I reviewed my trades. I knew exactly where I went wrong and what that I could have done better. That you, Linzi, and the coaches have mentioned that I would have done would have put me in a better position on every single one of those trades. And so the realization was I was super happy because I knew that I could be better next time. And then once the weekend that I ended the week 5% down, and the next week I was up 6.2%.
That's awesome.
There you go. Awesome.
Made it
and
back
that's what people, I
so,
think that's what people forget, that just like what you said there, Mateo, is when they just trade and then they shut their charts down and they don't think about the journaling, they don't think about going back to see and reflect on what did you do best and what didn't you do best and try and learn from them. They just think that you can just jump on the charts the next week and go, and you can't do that.
Well, it's tough because it's easy to click the button. It's easy to just hit buy or sell. You know what I mean? It's easy to get involved. And then it's really easy to be ignorant to some of the trades even that you're taking. Like you guys know, I've talked to both of you about it, where when I first started, because there was just no one around, I would not hold myself accountable for my own flaws, for my own, lacks of whatever you'd like to call it, of characteristic or whatever. I would not hold myself accountable to some of the trades that I was taking, and that would hold me back. But I think even there, and this goes to what I was going to say about your comments, Mateo, I feel like a lot of the time we get in our own way. And the perspective that the Stoicism brings for you, it seems to keep you out of your own way. And it's really perspective. Like you chose to be happy about the losses because it motivated you for what growth you could then come into, because you knew you had guidelines now after reflection. So it all does come together. It's like a unique mixture of how it comes together to present. But I think Stoicism is a good way for a lot of traders to, and I think Steve Burns even has an article on his blog about Stoicism and how it's applied to trading. And I've heard of it before. And I do, dude, I believe that you have to focus on only what you can control. And like you said, we can control the analysis. We can control the position size. We can control everything up to clicking the button. And then at that point, the only control that we have has nothing to do with price. It has everything to do with, like you said, management. So I wanted to highlight management because of my experience with IML. And I know now that you are with IML. Before we get into FTMO, but with them, I think one thing that I like looking back on my trading career from 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago now till today, because I started with them. I was with them for a couple of months, like 3 months, I think. They had no emphasis on trade management. And like you said, we don't even need to talk about the signals because I think the signals are, like you said, it's not even self-sufficient. So let's just put signals in a different conversation. Like we're not even going there. But just the trading itself, they didn't really teach me, and I don't know if they taught you, compared to at least what we have now at ASFX, where it's so clear cut that the difference is light and day. You know what I mean? Night and day with 100%. Risk management. So have you really found, I don't want to say more success, but more consistency with the risk management approach that we apply?
Dude, 310%. I mean, back then in IML, and something that also drew me in, which it wasn't the Lambo lifestyle, it was the percentages that they were throwing out, because you would see people posting, oh, like this person got 300% account growth this week, and I was like, oh my god, like if I had,
they're using leverage of like, like so much money. You have to remember what kind of leverage that takes. You know what I mean? They're over leveraging that account by 3 or 4, maybe even more than that. So it's just not realistic for consistent returns. It's not the right. And think about it, like if you. And then again, that goes, I don't mean to cut you off there, but it does go back to your goals, which I wanted to get into with you as well. But like if your goals are to manage money for people or collect money and actually get some money together and trade a couple $1 million, are you going to go to them and show them the drawdowns that an account like that is going to take 60, 70% drawdowns, if not the blown accounts that you have too? You think they're going to want you to use 1 to 1,000, even 1 to 500 leverage when you're managing their money? No, you know what I mean? So it depends on your goals too. But did you have anything you wanted to continue on the risk management with IML?
No, I think you definitely hit it on the head with that. And I mean, it's not realistic at all. And I think the number one goal for every single trader out there should be not just to make a lot of money or anything like that, but to find consistency. I think that really is the number one thing. I mean, if you can actually do this week by week, if your losses, I mean, your wins far outweigh your losses, and you can consistently do that every single week, every single month, every single year, then you won.
What does consistency mean to you? Like, how do you define consistency?
Consistency, in my opinion, is using the same exact.
What makes you feel consistent? Like, what gives you the confidence to say that I can be consistent trading?
So, I mean, obviously, your consistency is going to reflect your account balance. I mean, that's just a direct reflection, right?
Of course.
But more than that is using the same repeatable, proven system, no matter if you win or lose, knowing that you will win more than you lose, and you can manage those losses to reduce them. That's kind of where I find consistency.
That's a great answer. Tell me about your goals with trading. Like I said before, what's the future look like for you? Where are you trying to take this?
Buy a Lambo. No, I'm just kidding. I mean,
I thought you were going to say buy 5.
I got my Lambo. I mean, that's another one. That's a step ahead.
Oh shit!
No, obviously, like that lifestyle of like the whole like Lambo and all that stuff. It's definitely like super enchanting to me. But with trading, I want to combine it with other business ventures, and just the thought of compounding really, really intrigues me, because it's, if you can have so much more money from another business that you're building, which is funded, for example, by Forex, and then the profit from that business, you don't just go buy a Lambo, and then you reinvest it into a Forex account, and then you compound that. It's just, your money is just making you so much more money. And then you buy the Lambo.
When you do this,
that's like
when you do this math, do you have a number that you would love to be trading? Like, do you already have that number set?
I would love to have proper consistency and management to the point where I can consistently do about 25% growth a month. That's like my number one goal.
I think that's an easy goal, especially from what I've seen from you so far. I think that's definitely achievable. When I said a number, what do you, I mean, a number as far as your account balance that you'd want to have?
An account to trade with.
Just because you're saying compounding, so I'm wondering, are you already like, yo, I need a $10 billion account or a $10 billion?
Baby, give me $1 billion right now. I'll trade right now.
But you know what? I do think you have to remember too. Like, I don't know if you watched the interview I did with Tom Basso. But he was talking about how
great interview, by the way. Great interview.
Thanks. Loved it. Dude, I can't believe he wanted to. Like, he was willing. He reached out to me. It was crazy because he saw my interview with Steve. Dude, it's dope. So he was saying, like, Forex is a big market, and we know that, and that's why it gives us the capability to size up and scale up the position size. But at some point, even I think with that much money, you have to diversify into other markets. So have you looked into that at all? Have you thought about going into other markets yet, or are you still just like all eggs in one basket and I'm watching the basket?
As in, you mean in terms of like trading other markets?
Yeah, trading options,
like
trading futures. Yeah, trading, exactly. Anything like that?
I mean, from I guess a liquidity perspective, I guess that makes sense. But since Forex is one of the biggest markets that there is, I feel like liquidity will always be there, no matter. Well, I wouldn't say no matter what. I mean, I don't think you can put a 1 trillion trade on and just be like, hey, I just made.
But you could, as your size increases, you could find a broker that could let you trade even bigger and bigger. Because I know, like, some of the guys in our group that are trading with Owanda, they have so much size in some of their positions that they actually have to close them 30 seconds, 60 seconds apart because the size is so great. Yeah. So I think as time goes on, you'll adjust, and then you would be able to continue to scale up. But I just was curious to know if you had a specific number. But is that part of why you're trying to go with FTMO, get funded there, take the profits from there, put it into your own account? I'm assuming that's the plan.
Yeah, so my actual plan is, you hit it around the head. I mean, what made sense to me, so how I thought about this was, okay, if I use proper risk management, I'm risking, 1 to 2% per trade, maybe 3 on a blue moon on an A setup, if the Forex guys are feeling generous. And I can consistently do that, it will take me a long time to do it even with a $10,000 account. Like realistically speaking, or like a $5,000 account. And so I started researching, and then I found FTMO, and they said, we'll give you 50,000, 100,000, and 1% of 100,000, that's $1,000. You know what I mean? And so if you can consistently make the goal of 25%, which is fairly achievable, realistically, because if you're trading $1 million account or even a $10,000 account, 1% is 1%. If your trade goes 1R, that's 1%, no matter what, if you're risking 1%, right? And so that's what I love about it.
Dude, you brought up two good points there. So one, I want to talk about is the idea of these funding companies, but right there, just about 1R, I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, how many because for I don't know if you were paying attention yesterday, my trade, it went 1R and I didn't close any of it because I was doing all my other shit. Yeah. And I ended up getting stopped at break even. It was a small little win. Right. And I was just thinking, I was like, how many of my trades go 1R? Now, a lot of them go further, and then some of them end up like this one. They come back to even before they go further or whatever it is. But how many of them go 1R? I'm like, I wonder if there was just a strategy where you were just going 1 to 1.
1R.
And that's
how
it.
I used to trade.
Full in, full out. I wonder what the win percentage would be on that. I'm just curious. You know what I mean? I wonder what your expectancy could be on the long run. But with the FTMO stuff, Linzi and I have been talking about this for a long time because there's all these companies now and it's becoming more and more popular. Like I said, FTMO has their whole YouTube channel where they're talking about they're like interviewing people that are trading their money. And we have two of the guys in our group in the VIP, they actually work for FTMO in customer support.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yep. And then we have like 5 or 6 guys that are trading with them. And 2 or 3 of those guys say that they're funded by them. I just want to see the money. Like if I
said that to Mateo.
Somebody like that had the cash on hand, and they were like, "Yo, look at this bank deposit from FTMO," I'd be like, "Okay, that's all I need to see." I'm not doubting it at all, ever at all, because I think that it makes sense. Me and Linzi, like I said, we talk about this all the time. And Linzi, I want you to share your opinion, but it's like I don't see a lot of downsides to it.
No, I don't see downside to it. I've said that to you, but as you know, being one of your biggest skeptics, I'm still skeptic.
Of course, me too. I'm always skeptical. I'm not cynical. I'm not saying it's
neither am I, because I've seen and spoke in my social space are there, and they're with FTMO or they're with Funded Talent, whatever. They're with them and they're trading, and that's just I probably do think is it too good to be true. They're just giving you this. You just pay this $600 and they give you this.
Right.
And I assume it is, it's a demo account, and then you're just getting the profits from that demo account of the $100,000 account, and then they're paying you the profits until they move you into a real account or whatever happens.
All these companies have different ways of going about it. But
yes,
I look at it like it for everybody that's been doing what I've always been saying that I've been doing, like as long as I've been sharing my story, which has just been putting my extra income into the trading account and compounding it that way. I feel like this could potentially mitigate risk, right? You know what I'm saying? Like imagine if you had $100,000, like you had $100,000 in your account. What if these companies are legit? Now you're not going to make the same returns because like you said, they're going to take a piece of the profit too, whether it's 75% or 70%, whatever, they're going to take a piece of it. But if now you could keep trading your $100,000, or you could just take half of it off, move it into maybe a different investment, diversify. I don't know. There's potential.
There is a way. Yeah, there definitely is. And
so
I think you just got to kind of brainstorm to see, especially when, like for me just now, I'm sitting and I'm looking at FTMO and I'm looking at Funded Talent, and I'm in the midst of which side do I go here. I think you've just got to sit and brainstorm to see, because no harm, but if FTMO went out the window tomorrow, where would you be? Because you don't have any real money in an account.
That is the biggest downside to the whole thing. Is
so
that
that's
you have
my
no
biggest downfall. Where if I was just in my own account just now, and I'm still building it, then I've still got that account. But if I was to go and put all my eggs in one basket with them, where would I be?
I'll be honest. I feel like I kind of gotten, as my account has grown over the last 2 years, I've been more like I've slacked off more, I think, towards my goal of I'm going to get this account to $1 million myself.
Yeah.
because of these ideas too, and also just because of having more money in there, then it doesn't become as much of a stressor to keep putting more money in there. So it's it is
well, that's what it's like for me, because as I say, as Gordon, my husband, said to me, Lindsay, for me to keep you growing that, but even you growing it, it's still going to take a long time. So he's then going to still have to fund me with this account.
Right. You need money to make money.
That's exactly it.
On us. Yeah, because he's the only one working in this household. Yes, I'm trading, but we don't pull anything out. We keep it in the trading account.
Right. And then then for you, Lindsay, it's almost even more appealing, because then it definitely keeps less stress on you guys. Then it's right. So I could definitely see that. But what do you think, Mateo? For me, the biggest downside is no ownership. But if you're taking the profits from there, enough money with them in the long run, if you do it for 2 years or 3 years consistently,
you can make good money.
Right. Well, the same token, us as traders, and how I think about it, is analyzing everything as risk to reward. Right?
Sure. Yes.
So what is the risk to reward of going on FTMO? The only risk, realistically speaking, is paying the fee that you need for the account, which is not a lot. Right?
And time.
It's realistic. And time. Yeah, 100%. And time. But then say you only dedicate a month to trying them out, 2 months, 3 months, whatever it is, and you do get those consistent payouts, then I feel as if there's no problem. And the popularity that they're gaining and the name that they're making for themselves,
I think it would get more legit.
Really,
exactly. It would build it up,
really,
and they would build infrastructure.
For them to
I
not
agree.
just go, nah.
And they don't, they're a one-time fee.
Yep.
No subscription.
No subscription.
That's amazing.
And then the difference between them and Funded Talent is Funded Talent, it's a subscription, but they're paying out bi-weekly. So they're paying out twice a month. So
and that's why I think the subscription's there.
Yeah, I think so too. I think each company has its own little, and everybody has to do their own research to to figure out which 100%. One works best for them. But it also, we should talk about the fundamental aspect of this, right? I know it doesn't directly have an impact for these companies because they're based in other countries, some of them. I know FTMO is not based in the United States, I don't think. So these companies, I'm not sure how it impacts them, but with all the printing of the dollars that they're doing here, I know that does get shipped out, and I know that does impact overseas. So to see interest rates here very, very low, in some countries in Europe, interest rates are actually negative. It would make you think that money is cheaper now and easier to get now than ever before. So if in 20 years, 100%. If it's interest rates are way high, inflation's kicking in, and you're like, God damn it, why didn't I take that free money when it was there and just try to grow it? You know what I mean? And I think what pulls me, so that's one point of it. You don't want to look back on this time and be like, oh, why didn't I do that? Because I was too cynical. Come on, bro. Don't be like that.
Take every opportunity that you can and just try it out.
And weigh the risk reward, like you said. Right?
Exactly.
And I think what pulls me back from it too is I've never been good at trading two accounts ever. When I tried to do it one on my phone.
No, I don't fancy that either.
So I think
you have a master account? I was actually trying to research that the other day. I think you can have a master account right there. I believe you can, because some guy on FTMO actually.
It's like a copy or it copies to the other accounts.
Yeah, exactly. It copies to the other accounts, and it copies the same. Even if the account is a different size, it copies the same percentages, tips and all that stuff.
Yeah. I think they're bots that you can buy, EAs that you can buy that do that.
Probably.
But what I would be, the reason for me, I emphasize the time part of it too, as a cost, is because if I did it, I would look at it and be like, okay, I think I'm going to have to keep my Awanda account open, but I'm going to need to focus on that account and trading that account and getting the right price. And then I think where the other, my Awanda account that I've been growing forever, where I think that comes in is trading pairs that have lower spreads, maybe where the spread is too high, maybe with the FTMO challenge. If I was to do that one, or whatever, if some of the spreads are 5 with FTMO's broker, but Awanda is 2, then I'm going to take the trade.
That's one thing I don't like. Do you find that your
surprisingly
spreads?
enough, it's really good though. The spreads are actually really good. For example, pairs GN.
What's the broker? LMAX?
LMAX. Then FTMO feed. I'm not 100% sure. I believe it's LMAX.
Yeah, it's LMAX.
But they give you a chance once you get the funded account, I believe, to pick your own broker, and they have a whole list of them. But for the one that I'm trading with, I mean, when someone, I believe one of the guys in the team, Jack, I believe he's in Awanda too, and the spread on sometimes on GN or EN will be It's huge. It's like 4.3 pips or something like that. And then when I'm trading the FTMO one, it's probably like 3.6. So, you know, that 1 pip disparity, I mean, it's only 1 pip, but it makes a difference, you know?
Yeah, but 1 pip's, I mean, when your spread's 4, 1 pip's not going to make that big of a difference, you know?
Yeah, that's
I have saw, there was one time though, it was like EN with a Wanda was about 9 pips.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it'll still open up, even with the premium account. Like I have the tier 2 or tier 3 premium account.
And you find, I'm with Pepperstone and they're around 2 to 3 pips.
That's good. That's pretty good. Like right now, my EU spread is 0.9. So that's pretty good. You know, less than 1. So I'll take that on EU. But on GN on a Wanda right now.
Huge.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's huge, and accommodating to that. But I mean, it's the game. What are you gonna do? You know,
right?
You can't fight it. Focus on what you can control, right?
But I think for the funded stuff, I think like you guys are saying, and like we see a lot of these younger guys are quick to jump on it, like Jason, Brandon. Like they're like, oh, $100,000, give me that. 18 years old, give me that. You know what I'm saying? They're quick. I think that it just seems to me, and I could be wrong, but it just seems that there's more upside than downside, even when you calculate the time and the money on the downside.
200%
seems like
agreed.
200%. I think there still seems to be. So then what keeps me and you on the fence, Lindsay? I don't know.
I know, but see FTMO.
Yeah, you guys gotta hop on. You guys gotta hop on the FTMO
talking about
train.
The account. So like just what me and Austin were talking about before we came on here. Funded talent so say you want to have 3 accounts at 100K.
Yeah.
They put that to 1 account, so you're trading 300K.
Yes.
FTMO don't, so you're trading 3 accounts.
Oh man, that sucks.
No, you can do it in FTMO.
Oh, you can master it.
Okay,
you can master account. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Lindsay was like,
well, I did because that was another reason why I was sitting in this side more because I thought I was thinking I couldn't trade 3 accounts. No way.
Let me give you another thought on it too.
It's super hard. No, but you can email them and then tell them like merge my accounts, even if it's like a 50K and then 100K. You can tell them merge my accounts, and then they'll make a master 150K account, whatever it is.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
So much easier.
I think my major hesitation on it, I think, Lindsay, now that I'm talking about it more, is that I would be making less money with them than I would be still trading my own account. So I'm taking downside, I'm taking risk off the table, but also making a little bit less. But if I trade both, then I'm making more. So
way more.
For me, it would be trading both. So that's, now that we're thinking, like now my wheels are turning a little bit. I'm thinking that would make it, that would be the only way to make it worthwhile
this is
for
something
me.
I'm interested in.
Because the downside risk of taking it all, like the downside risk of me stopping trading my own money, like my own cash, and putting my own cash aside or something, the risk there is like the cash losing value. I want to trade 100%. The cash. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want it to lose value. So for me, and I think people in my position too, the reason I'm bringing this up, because I know some of the guys listening are similar to me. I think for us, it would make sense if you're making more money without them, you'd have to trade both. It would not make sense to stop trading your own account. You know what I mean? You'd have to trade both. And then like I was talking to you about before, Lindsay, like with funded talent, I would buy 3 of them. I need the $300,000 instantly, even to make this, just because of the money that I'm used to making in my real account.
Yeah.
100%.
So then, but I think she caps you at $300,000, right? You can't.
You can't have any more. No.
So I don't know if I love that either. What about FTMO? Is there a cap on that?
So the thing is, if you're profitable every 4 months, they'll increase your account size by 25%. And so if after 4 months you've had either like break even or profitable months, if they increase it with 25%, well, that's pretty good. Plus, so let's say you make compounding, but I don't think you can apply for another one.
So if you make $100,000 in 4 months and the $100,000 account goes to $200,000, let's just say crazy, you doubled it. They would give you 25% increase on the $200,000.
If you didn't, well, they have to withdraw their 30% every single month, regardless. So it would be without the 30% of whatever they withdrew. And
so they take 30% every month, no matter what?
Yeah.
No matter what, yeah. Unless you didn't make anything, well, otherwise,
they take
that.
And what about funded talent, Lindsay? Does she take?
Well, obviously for them, you have to start with the
demo,
the funded talent bonus.
Yes.
Which you're only getting the 10%.
Right. So she's taking no downside
off
risk there,
but you're getting that off the bat, so you're not having to do any challenges. You're getting that off the bat.
Right.
And then you've got to build up the real account. And then once you get to the real account, they take 25%.
Got it. Yeah. So this other company, like the way that she does it, basically you trade a demo account and then everything that you like 10% of your profits, you get paid out on that. So like on the demo account, if it's 100 grand, you take it to 110, you get $1,000, right, Linzi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get 10 every 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Yep.
Yeah. So that's how and then what she does is of your profits, they take 5 grand of it from the demo and they move it into a real account. And after 3 months, it'll be 15. And then you're trading a $15,000 real
and that
account
can grow and grow.
Right. And then $100,000 demo account, and you trade both. And then you can take the profits that on the 10% from the demo and throw it into the real account. And she adds the 5K every month too, or whatever it is. Yeah. So it can get.
That just seems like a lot of work to me. I'm not gonna lie.
She actually, if you don't take any of your funded bonus, bi-weekly, she doubles that if you put it into your real account.
She'll match it and put it into the real account.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's
But it just seems like such a hassle and such a long.
And there's a monthly fee on that. Yeah, she charges a monthly fee.
A monthly fee.
Yeah. So they all have their pros, but the other, like, she has no challenge. If you don't make 10% in the first month, it's okay. You don't have to put up those numbers,
100%.
Not all of us are Linzi that every time we shoot, we don't miss. So, excuse me.
You're not even lying. Like, you're actually
I'm not, bro. That's why you could say it. I'm like, I'm not lying, bro.
I can confidently say you're not even lying.
So, but this is good. I'm glad that we're going into this conversation because I think a lot of people watching, like even one of the guys in our group, I won't say his name, an older guy, he lives near me, not older, but he's older than me.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know why I have been on the fence too. So I think there's a lot of people that are like, I heard about this, but it seems like you said, Linzi, it seems too good to be true. So hopefully us talking about it will motivate people. I mean, you should never turn down free money. I don't know who said that to me, but I think that's a good quote we should try to live by.
And I always say you don't knock something, don't knock it until you've tried it. So
that's another one. Yep.
Do you know?
Yep, absolutely.
So I would just like to see more people come forward. So if MD is watching this YouTube, please,
if you can just show us one payout, just one little screenshot of your bank statement. Like I need just the date, the company that they pay you from, and the amount. I don't need to see anything else on your bank. I don't care. I just want to see that. That's all I want. And hopefully Ryan has one for us on Monday, Linzi.
Yes, he will. Yep, he's funded talent. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
But going
some people have shown it on YouTube.
I've seen the videos.
I don't know. I guess you can like Photoshop stuff and all that stuff. I don't know how like legitimate it is. You know what I mean? Right. Like we're in the media era of the showbiz. That's showbiz, baby. But that you never really know it's true.
We're in the day and age of appearances, bro. So you can Photoshop anything.
You never know. You can never know.
Going forward, Mateo, what can Linzi and I expect from you as far as your growth? What is the standard that you've set yourself for?
Well, what I am hoping is to find that, as I said, the 25% a month consistently by the end of this year is my goal. Like by December, I want to be able to show the number, like show the FTMO, like here's my 25% withdrawal, like you know what I mean? Of constantly doing that month to month, and then obviously carrying on to the next year, to start off next year super good, no pandemic, no nothing, right, falling out,
right.
I think that's realistic.
I think so too, and I think that if you continue down the path that you're on, which is that you're active in the group, you're doing the markups all the time, you're asking questions still, like you're not staying complacent, thinking that you know everything. If you stick with those 3 things that you've been doing really well, I think it's more than achievable for you to actually exceed that goal. So you might be shooting yourself a little low, but we'll see how it plays out between now and January. I'm excited. And then, dude, of course, and I mean it, I think in the future we could have you on these calls with me and Linzi leading this, and you leading other people.
Oh, dude, that's my number one goal. And
because I can see
I will be an ASFX coach. That's
you will.
Dude, I can see. We've got bets on you, bro. I can see just in the chat the way you help people. I can see that you don't mind giving insight back, and that's rare. Most people, once they start making a little bit of money trading, they don't want to give back. They actually want to talk less in the group chat. They're just like, yo, just let me trade and leave me alone. So when I find people like yourself, I try to keep them close, like Linzi.
No,
but listen,
I think that's something that and Tony Robbins, I'm a huge fan of Tony Robbins. That he speaks back of giving back. It's a huge thing. And for me, it doesn't need to be monetarily, but if you have the knowledge that someone else just might not, and they're trying to get there, there's just no reason for you to just keep it to yourself. If you can see it and know that you can help, I just feel like it's a bit selfish.
Dude,
I don't know why people don't understand that more though. When when we get the questions asking, so if you're making money trading, why do you want to coach people? And that's exactly what I say. Why keep the knowledge to yourself when you know that you can help so many others?
It's a passion.
Right. And it's also
if somebody didn't do that for me, I wouldn't be here.
I think the people that say that don't give enough, and they don't know how good it feels to actually help people. When people say that, like, yo, I'm making money because of ASFX or because of something that I'm saying or putting out in a video, I'm like, bro, that is more impactful than anything. Like, it's funny.
I'd much rather that than a 6R trade. Dude, not gonna lie.
Not even that. Like, it's just your definition of like success and achievement and accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Like, people like my dad. I always think of my dad. My dad would not describe that normally as success or achievement, but to me, it's the most valuable thing in the world. So, like, 100%. His perception of success would be working on a team in a boardroom and coming up with some project to sell something or whatever. And that's his. And being a part of that team to him is success. But that's not success to me. To me, achievement and fulfillment comes. I think it comes from giving, and I can give back the most, like you said, 100%. With this trading knowledge, bro. It sucks because right now, especially with the money situation that I know a lot of people are in, it's like you can't just hand out money. That doesn't teach anybody. That doesn't do any good. Really, it's not going to accomplish anything. But if I can do one thing, other than, of course, like go donate my time to a homeless shelter or whatever I can do, that always helps. But like my impact is in the knowledge that we have with the charts. It's in all of the hours that we've put in. You know what I'm saying?
All of the people that have changed their lives because of ASFX, like knowing a system that they can constantly make money on. Like, if you really think that in retrospective, it's like your system will teach people the skill that they need in order to accomplish their long lifetime goals.
Bro,
you know
I'm
what
seeing
I mean?
it.
So it's like
you got to see some of the guys that we have trading. Like I always think of the guys up in Alaska. Like they're killing it, bro. Like, if you would have told me that like they have a team, they have an office of guys, they're trading managed money now. It's real legit. Wow. So like, yeah, bro. I mean, we're definitely
using straight ASFX.
Straight ASFX, dude. Wow. They sent me a video yesterday. Like, their whole office is a window that sees out to a river and then the mountains in Alaska. It's beautiful. And they're all sitting on there in bouncy on those like medicine balls, you know, like what people
We have to go. We have to take a trip out.
Oh my God, I know.
I'm gonna have something like that in Scotland.
Retreat right now.
I know.
No one wants to go to Scotland, Lindsay. I'm sorry. No one wants to go to Scotland.
Well, if I have an office, if I have an office like that.
No. Okay, I come to listen.
Get some bouncy balls and some fun
the only place I'm going is Florida. That's it. I'm going to be in Florida.
The ASFX office in Florida, but we'll never need a physical office, which is the good thing. But we can always meet up and we can always trade together. And I think I'm trying to do London as soon as we can. Like, if this event is happening in April, I'd like to do something in London maybe first, even if it's just a meetup, or if it's just in Amsterdam before I do this speech.
Amazing, dude.
Yeah. So, and you're in New York, so you should be able to fly out real easy, because we would probably
100%.
fly.
Doesn't matter. I'll be in China. I'll still go. It doesn't matter. Count me in.
As much as I want to go, I'm getting all these emails for like really cheap flights right now. Like, these people don't realize that you can't fly out.
And stuff and all that stuff. Yeah,
everything's cheap. I would love to go to Asia, but I also don't want to go to Asia right now because I don't think they want me there, bro.
You never know.
If they knew that I was from Florida, they'd be like, "Oh, he can't come in here."
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
The cases are spiking.
Put on your guy.
But yeah, so no, this is good stuff, guys. I appreciate both of you for taking the time and sharing the insight with us.
Thank you, man.
I think we can. Yeah, well, let's wrap it up here for now. We'll have to definitely get you on for a part 2, Mateo. I enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, loved it. Thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'd love to hear you guys' input and everything.
For everybody that's watching, I'll link Mateo's contact info down below. Linzi will be down there as well in the description, so you guys can go connect with them, ask them any questions. Make sure you guys are subscribed wherever you're listening or watching so you don't miss any of our future conversations. And like I said, Mateo, appreciate you, brother. Linzi, always appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks, everybody.
Yep. Take care.